Hey folks, welcome to the final video in the segment on how to make and use a reader magnet. So of course, like the last video, this assumes that your reader magnet is done and that it's professionally edited. I don't know if I said that in the past, but I feel like that almost goes without saying. If you put anything out into the world, it needs to be edited by someone other than you that is a professional at this and understands, um, Chicago manual style and how to be how to edit long form narrative stories, which are different than many other things that you would edit, and also is capable of doing it without modifying your voice. It's something you should know, just in case you're not aware of it, that a good editor can edit your text without modifying your voice. All right, so this one is all about using Facebook ads to market your book or market your reader magnet, which of course then markets your book. Now, you don't actually have to have your book published to be using this or the free methods we talked about previously. Your book could be still in edit, still on pre-order, maybe not even on pre-order, although I think it should be on pre-order because you want a solid action for people to take after they read your reader magnet. But the great thing with this is, like, if you had a series with one or two books in it, I would actually generally recommend against Facebook ads because it can be hard to have profitable read through with such a short series. But when you have the reader magnet, you're exchanging an email address for the reader magnet, and that means you have a long-term thing that you can now utilize. You've got an email address that you can market to for almost nothing until they spam you, use spam and never see you again or unsubscribe. But a lot of people don't do that, even though a lot of times you're only going to get about 30% open rate, maybe 40% on a given email. You're probably going to actually have about, over the span of a few months, 60% of the people that see your emails will engage. So that's a long-term number that will serve you well. So because because, like I said, normally I wouldn't recommend using Facebook ads to advertise a shorter series. Using them to build using the market a reader magnet to build a newsletter list is viable, because down the road you can now just email those people rather than paying money to try and find them through an ad service when book 1, 2, 3 come out, etc. So without further ado, we're going to pop into the Facebook ad manager and talk a bit about how we'll make this ad. Now, you may never have done this before. This ad manager might look a little bit scary. If you never have worked in the ad manager before, I recommend picking up our book, Help My Facebook Ads Suck. It's a very good walkthrough of Facebook ads in the ad manager, how to get started in it, what it does. And so I'm going to kind of work through this quickly because I don't want to belabor too many various points in here. I want to sort of give you the cliff notes on what you have to do. And of course, if you want more advanced ad stuff and really learn the nuts and bolts of the ad manager, we have courses for that. Or again, you can pick up our book, Help My Facebook Ads Suck. So first thing, you'll be in the ad manager and you'll be on the campaign tab. If you're on a view that doesn't look like this, there should be a little thing that kind of looks like a spreadsheet over here that says campaigns. Click that, and that's where you want to be to create ads. Or I think you could do an account overview and some other places in here too, but we want to be on the ad manager with the 3 tabs: campaigns, ad sets, and ads. We're going to click create, and we're going to click leads. And because really in a marketing business perspective, getting someone's email address so that you can market them in the future is a lead. So this is a lead generation activity. So we're going to continue. You're going to get this thing that asks if you want to do recommending settings or manual leads campaign. Always pick manual. Recommended settings do not work for authors. All right, you can give it a name, my book, whatever you want to call it. Do give it a name though, because you will kind of want to possibly look back at them in the future and see what's what. You don't need to change anything else in this page. Just click next. You're then going to be taken to the ad set level. So campaign level is really objective based, and our objective is to get leads. Ad set is where we're going to be setting where we're sending people and who we're showing it to, and our budget. Leave it set to website. It is possible to use instant forms on Facebook, which sometimes can get more people to fill them out, but it's a lot more work to actually then deliver the book to the person and just do a bunch of extra integration work to get those email addresses out of Facebook. So we're going to leave this set to website. And I'm recommending that we use BookFunnel. And the website we're going to be sending people is BookFunnel, although Story Origin also works and is just as good as BookFunnel. I just personally use BookFunnel. Nothing against Story Origin at all if you're already using them. So the next thing we want to do is performance goal. We're going to leave that set. That's our maximum number of conversions. And then we're going to have to pick a pixel. If you don't have a pixel created, there'll be an option here to create a new pixel. So we'll actually just quickly, all you have to do is just give it a name, and the name could be usually just your author name, because you can use this one pixel everywhere. Based on the kind of marketing that authors do, we generally do not need more than one pixel. I already have a pixel, so I'm just going to pick it, my Aeon 14 pixel. And I'm going to want to then select an event for my conversions. Now, conversion means like the event that gets sent back to Facebook when the human being does the thing that we want them to do. And complete registration, it might be under inactive events, it might be under active events, depends what you've been using that pixel for. I don't know, mine actually shouldn't be under inactive because this pixel is running on my Shopify site. Oh, I know why. I actually am not running any leads campaigns right now. So there are active things that are happening, but they're like initiate, checkout, and purchase. And obviously, complete registration is not something that happens on my Shopify website. That confused myself for a moment there. So yeah, complete registration. If you are running other leads campaigns, that at present that will be active. And I think it's just like 7 days. If it's less than 7 days, they mark it as inactive. And it's also just saying because I haven't got any activity in the last 7 days, my ad won't be optimized right away, which means it will probably take about 7 days to optimize the ad for conversions. So again, I pick my pixel, pick complete registration as my conversion event, and we're good to go. I prefer using dynamic creative, but we'll just leave that off for now. And certainly do not want a $51 daily budget. Oh my God, you can start this off at 5 or 10. I recommend 10, at least at the beginning. It's so bizarre that it's saying this, that I'm going to spend $51 to get one complete registration. That's insane. Sometimes the recommendations that Facebook gives are complete balderdash. Like I'm probably going to pay about 60 cents to get each conversion. I will not be applying that recommendation. Then you get down here to audience controls. Always switch to original audience options. The new system is not that good and will go outside your recommendations, even gender and age. So we really want to make sure we pick the original audience system. I'm just going to pick anybody 25 and up. And I'm actually leaving it all genders for this particular book. You might want to pick men or women. And then I'm just going to, this is a sci-fi story. So I do want to give it something to start with, because a lot of people, they talk about, going completely wide with these, with this targeting. But the problem with that is that you less than half of the people in the United States read books. It's about a third of the people in the United States read books like more than once a year, kind of thing. And if you start with this completely wide open, Facebook will start by showing this ad to everyone. And I really want to bring it down to people who not only read books, but read books in my genre, because I want this optimization where it looks for people who are it's looking at people who complete the registration. They go to BookFunnel, they actually get the book and they complete the registration, and then it will optimize to find more people like that. I want that to optimize as quickly as possible. So I want to give Facebook as much help starting out as I can. Later on, I could actually remove these after the ad's working and just let it go wild, because it already knows the kind of people that it's going to hit. So this actually gives me a lot of people. It gives me 44 million people, but these are all entertainment, media, and movies. So I'm going to define further, and I'm going to hit fiction books. Fiction books. If you're in like other things like your contemporary romance, for example, you could just pick contemporary romance. It's already a literature category and doesn't require this narrowing. But because all the categories I picked are non-literature categories, I need to narrow down by people who read. And that brought me down to 33 million, which is great. I do want a big audience. I want a lot of people. I just want people that read and are into my kind of stuff. Now, this doesn't mean that they do read my kind of stuff, because science fiction movies includes the Marvel movies. So, you might read, I don't know, urban fantasy or women's fiction or memoirs. Well, the memoirs wouldn't be in here because these are both fiction, but maybe someone classified their memoir as fiction and Facebook thinks it's fiction. Like, it's possible that you could get someone who watches Marvel movies and reads wildly different things. And that's definitely the case because I don't think there's 33 million sci-fi readers in the United States. Probably closer to like 15 to 20 million. But I mean, I could be wrong. Actually, I might actually be wrong. There might be 33 million. Either way, I've just given it a starting point rather than 280 some odd million people that Facebook can reach. I brought it down to 33 million people who are kind of in my wheelhouse, and then it can like have a better start when it's doing this targeting. I'm also, because I'm going to use image ads, I'm going to go down to placements. I clicked edit. I'm going to change to manual placements. And in here, I'm going to turn off marketplace, video feeds. Under stories and reels, I'm going to turn off Instagram reels and Facebook reels. I don't like sending people things in Messenger, so we're going to have Messenger stories as well. And then we're going to turn off apps and sites because that's bad. They don't convert. And then we're going to turn off Facebook in-stream videos. And that's going to give me ads on Facebook reels is fine because it's just a little square ad down at the bottom of the Facebook reel. So my image will look good there. So that's the basic things. Turn off marketplace, video feeds, reels, in-stream videos, and go on. If you are using a video for doing this, you can absolutely, you still leave apps and sites off, but you can leave in-stream videos, and then the reels options can be left on. But always turn off marketplace. Oh, and you can use Facebook video feeds. You can leave that on, but marketplace, always turn it off 100% of the time. All right, so we've set on this page our pixel. We've told it we're using a conversion location on our website, which is going to be BookFunnel. It somehow reverted this. Maybe I clicked the button by accident. Come on, actually do what I'm telling you to do here, Facebook. I wonder when I click that button for original audience, to use original audience options, if it didn't reset this form. Double check this after you set it. I made an audience. I'm not going to worry too much. I'm going to make it big and broad, and just basically what I care about is I want readers in my wheelhouse. To be honest, you could even just say, just give me readers. You could not do this first part and say, just give me readers. And that could work as well. And then lastly, we took out a few of the placements, which I've talked about twice, so I'm not going to belabor that point. And then we're on, there we are. Then we are on to the book page. Now it's got this error here. Please create an instant form for your leads campaign. Even though I told it I'm converting my website, sometimes it gets a little bit hung up on this. And down at the bottom, it still has instant form turned on. And it thinks that we're still going to want to have the option of an instant form. So you can scroll all the way down to browse add-ons and just set that to none. And then it won't be pestering me about that. All right. So we're going to give this an image or a video. If you're using dynamic creative, you can give it multiple images. Just for kicks, I'm just going to pick, this is the wrong book. I'm just going to pick this though, this image here. Ta-da! Looks awesome. Also, like the image that you use, there's a lot that goes into this. High contrast is important. It has to embody the genre and trope really well. And it has to be something that's going to stop people from scrolling, and it should have the book cover on it as well, just because we're casting a really wide net, and we might be getting non-readers at some point with this ad. Even though I've picked people who read, I still might be getting some non-readers, and I really want people to have that in their minds when they see this ad. It's for a book, so if they click and land on my page, they're already expecting book, and they're not like, what the hell is this? I thought this was a video game or a movie or whatever. And then your primary text is the text that goes above the image. Something relatively short can work here. If you've written a blurb, you can use your blurb. I do recommend sometimes like maybe making a little bit snappier, a little more attention grabby. The very first few lines are very important, but the most important thing is going to be your headline. Oh, and you can use an excerpt, and you can do multiple ones. You might want to do something short like kicking ass in outer space. If I could type. Space. Hooray. And then you can turn off the AI thing here. You can add a text option that could be an excerpt. You can do up to 2,000 characters. Actually, you can do a little bit more than that, it seems like. Make sure you put spaces between your paragraphs. If you're copying out of a Word document, it will take the spaces out. You need those spaces. You also need to go through and take out any curse words, hell. Also, if your excerpt contains things about political figures, fictional or otherwise, that'll give you trouble. So like even if you say like judge, senator, stuff like that during an election year, Facebook's pretty particular about stuff like that. And then your last thing can be could be something like blurb length. So I like doing those three options because Facebook will actually show them to people who like those kinds of things. And then you have your headline, which is the bold text that appears below the ad. And in here, you would do something like, I would say free, like read this free genre trope book. So mecha sci-fi mechanized warrior book or something like that. Spicy why choose romance, clean small town Midwestern or Western romance, whatever it might be. Like hit your major tropes in there, but make sure you do free. Feel free to make free bold. And then you're pretty much good to go at this point. Obviously, you might be like refining these and playing with these, but that's kind of what you need to get started. Again, I'm trying not to cram an entire Facebook ads course into this one video. Just kind of want to show you how to get this rolling. And then lastly, you do need your pixel ID that you're using, and it will be in a selectable piece of text down here, down the tracking spot. And you'll copy that and you'll go to BookFunnel. And on BookFunnel, you're going to have landing pages. And you're going to want to upload your reader magnet to BookFunnel and then make a landing page for BookFunnel. And it has to be a landing page that's going to require people to sign up for your mailing list. And then you can either put in a CSV or you can have it like automatically go to your mailing provider, like MailChimp or what have you. So that's entirely possible, all right there. But basically, you want a sign-up page that requires people to provide their email address. And it'll be like this page is collecting email addresses. And then, of course, we want to edit this. So click Action, click Edit Page Details, and down at the bottom, click the little plus beside Advanced Settings. And then down here, we actually paste in our Facebook pixel and just verify that your subscribe event is complete registration, because you'll remember that on the second page here, when it said, what is your conversion event? It's complete registration. So those have to be the same. And even though there's a space, no space here, and there is a space here, they are the same. They do map to one another. So you'll be all right. So also then on this page, let me actually go back out of edit mode. Well, I'll save. I can't find there we are, save button. It was covered up by the Zoom controls. All right, saved. Close, and we'll have a link here to the book, and then we'll take that link, and on our ad, when we're making that, we'll go down to the part where Facebook wants the URL, and we paste that in. And then we will want to also just change our button to download. I would change it to download, because we are saying like it's a free book, so download is I think that goes very well with free. And then we're good to go. And you can kick that thing off. And then once it's up and running on Facebook, you're going to have a number that's going to be cost per result. And your result is a registration. So this is not going to be a click. It's actually going to be your cost for someone to sign up. Getting this number should be under $1. Ideally, it should be under 60 cents. And some people can get it as low as 30 cents. So you can continue to optimize and tweak your ad, trying to find options that get you cheaper and cheaper conversions, and then you're getting these people's email addresses, and that's how you start to build a mailing list. And you can spend Jill and I, one time, she started a brand new pen name, and she was spent about $500 over the course of a month when she had an ad that was working, and we built a 3,000 person mailing list, and then she launched the pen name with this massive mailing list, and we're able to kick it off just like right away and not have to do a lot of build up. Like that book one, her own mailing list was enough to propel that book one up into the top 100 of some categories without having to do a lot of other legwork. So absolutely something that you can leverage and can work really well. And you can do a big campaign like that, like $500 in 1 month, or you can just let it trickle along. Once you get up and running, once Facebook has done that learning phase where it's learned kind of how to get good conversions for your ad and you have it optimized, you could leave it at $10 a day, or you could just drop it down to $5 a day and just let it trickle along and get you new subscribers every single month and focus on just constantly building that mailing list. And if you think about it, if you can get yourself down to about 30 cents per registration, that means every day you could be getting 25 new people on your mailing list. And if you can get just a fraction of those, a third of them, to start reading your series, that ad can very easily become profitable. So it's totally something that can work for you and help propel your new series to great heights and build that asset for you. That's the other thing too. Your mailing list is an asset that you're building. So you can this will provide dividends for a very long time. All right, thanks and good luck. Have fun building your reader magnet ads. Ciao.